Oh boy, transfer portal's heating up. I'll give you a minute to get in here, but if you missed the news, breaking news from let's see, Chris Hummer, 24/7 Sports, KJ Jefferson to enter the transfer portal. Not totally unexpected. KJ's got a year left because he's played during the COVID year, so he's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. And early reports saw Brad Crawford from 24/7 Sports says South Carolina, the leader right now for KJ. I ain't buying that. And I'll tell you why. I know there's the Dow Loggins connection and all that. So that there is some sense to it. But we're the biggest KJ fans out there. I know other people have claimed that. But yeah, another one, Travis Etienne, maybe Trent. We maybe have to do emergency when he leaves. But it's about KJ. Come on, Michael. Don't derail us here. But what has derailed KJ more than anything this year is that offensive line. And what is South Carolina the worst at? Offensive line. So is he going to go get killed at South Carolina, especially when they got Sellers? I mean, I certainly would take KJ over Sellers because we don't know if Sellers is good to go yet. He could be a future stud, but give me KJ over Sellers for now. But I don't think South Carolina is likely. I really don't. And now that Bobby Petrino's at Arkansas, I wouldn't even rule out Arkansas either, keeping him. But obviously this indicates that's probably not going to happen, but I think it still could. But I think there's better fits in the SEC. Mississippi State, Kendall Briles runs that Kendall Briles system, obviously. So he's from Mississippi. I think Mississippi State's one to watch. I wouldn't rule out Tennessee. I don't think that's likely, but I think if Tennessee was smart, they would look into it. I know they got Nico, but I don't know. That'll be one to watch. I'm seeing Kentucky in the mentions. I don't think Kentucky makes any sense at all. This is interesting, though. Mizzou fan says KJ's a Mizzou guy. He ain't going to go to Mizzou. I think it's Mississippi State. I think that makes more sense than just about anything. But I would give Petrino an opportunity to win me over. And don't kid yourselves, NIL is going to play a big part in KJ's decision, and he's worth it. I mean, he can elevate a team. He was not able to elevate Arkansas, obviously, but he's capable of elevating a team. And I'm trying to think. There was one other team in the SEC. Oh, of course. I think the one team we're all overlooking that makes a world of sense for KJ if he stays in the SEC, Auburn. I think Auburn, playing in Hugh Freeze's system, I mean, they were just so god-awful at quarterback this year, and they still nearly beat Georgia, nearly beat Alabama. It ain't going to – everybody's saying LSU. They got Nussmeier. They're all in on Nussmeier. He ain't going to LSU. So I think it's Auburn, South Carolina, Arkansas, or Mississippi State. And I would tend to think Mississippi State would be the leader in the clubhouse for KJ Jefferson. But wild times at Arkansas. We get Bobby Petrino. Of course, I don't know if that's official, but he's tweeting up a storm. I can't imagine he won't be. He's got to be introduced at some point today. But we get Bobby Petrino and we lose KJ potentially. He could still come back. You can enter the portal and come back. But wild times here. And he's not going to be the last. There's going to be more guys that jump into the portal. Liquid Flame says, who is KJ again? He's a guy that destroyed your defense and kept you from a bowl game just about a month ago. He's that guy. And that was his best game of the year. We get that, KJ. He's a difference maker. He could be one that lifts Arkansas or excuse me, Auburn to new heights. I really do think. So this is big news. This is big news. Ooh, man. Now, I think he's going to be the best quarterback out there in the portal. I really do, KJ. And this could change a lot in the SEC. Again, maybe he does go to South Carolina. I don't know, but that just doesn't make a ton of sense outside of the Dow Loggins connection there. Josh says Sam Pittman saved his job by hiring Bobby Petrino. I think it's going to go one of two ways. Could blow up in his face, or it could save his job, like you're saying. And I think Bobby Petrino was clearly hamstrung by Jimbo this fall, and it was evident by the fact that when Jimbo got fired, the offense opened up even more. And that's not to say Bobby Petrino didn't have an impact day one. I mean, it was people forget, man. A&M was just god awful a year ago on offense, and they were very respectable this year. And then with a third string quarterback, looked very dynamic, even up against the likes of LSU in the finale there. So, ooh, yeah, KJ Taylor bringing it, all-time leader in passing yards, passing touchdowns. I think total touchdowns in Arkansas history. Yep, I think Mississippi State very, very likely the next school for KJ. He's from Mississippi. He ain't gonna go to Ole Miss. I think they've obviously got enough quarterbacks set down there in Oxford. But man, what a wild time here that we're living here. The difference between Sam and Jimbo is Sam will let Petrino coach 100%. Absolutely. He's Sam Pittman very hands off. I did. Thank you, Tony. I did just wake up, but this was big news. KJ in the portal. This is my favorite SEC quarterback into the portal. This has not, the chance to alter a team's hopes next season. I mean, if I'm sitting here, if I'm Auburn, if I'm Mississippi State, South Carolina, if I get KJ, all of a sudden, I think my expectations for what we can do next season are significantly higher than they were yesterday. So, I mean, this is huge news. And maybe he comes back to Arkansas. We can't rule that out. Why leave Arkansas for Mississippi State? Same situation. Not at all. Not at all. Did you watch Arkansas this year? Offensive line, piss poor. No weapons. I would argue Mississippi State's got better receivers and the scheme. He's thrived under Kendall Browse. Same system that Jeff Lebby runs, going back, but it's like a fresh start. I mean, can you blame him? Did you watch Arkansas this year? I mean, it was just awful. He had no help, and the one game he took over was that Florida game, and he looked like $1 million. He looks like the old KJ, but because of the pieces around him, they weren't able to utilize that. Can KJ run jet sweep? I don't think we're going to be doing jet sweep anymore at Mississippi State. Bobby Petrino hire, big news. I mean, the Bobby Petrino hire is so big, it doesn't seem like any of these Arkansas fans even care they've lost KJ, which they should. Quarterback matters a hell of a lot more than all. You could have Steve Spurrier, Bobby Petrino, and John Gruden on staff. If you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see. People keep saying LSU. I don't think that's realistic, but who knows? Maybe they kept Garrett Nussmeier away from Florida just to bring in KJ. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Hide your motorcycle, hide your volleyball players. Bobby P rides again. Oh man, the SEC is great, isn't it? I mean, exactly. Jorge here. We haven't lost him yet. That's true. I mean, it's going to come down to, who offers them the most in NIL. I think. That's what's going to come down to. Not connections, not system, all that. It's going to be NIL. That's the way it works now. So Arkansas just launched a new NIL initiative. Can they keep KJ? Maybe. I can't wait to find out. But this is big news. Big enough that I thought we had to go on. And here's KJ. Uh-oh. Breaking news here on his Instagram. I haven't made my decision yet. This is live from KJ Jefferson himself. So he may not leave. I think, if they can fix the offensive line, I'd stay to play for Bobby Petrino, who's coached guys like Lamar Jackson and Ryan Mallett, of course, and been in the NFL. KJ may not be gone yet. KJ to A&M? They don't even have an offensive coordinator. I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen. But I'm just I would like to see it. One last ride. I would like to see KJ and Bobby Petrino, first game of the year, ride out on motorcycles. I mean, the Mississippi State showed that you can do a four-wheeler. Apparently, that's not against the rules. Why not a motorcycle onto the field? KJ to Auburn makes a ton of sense. I think that's a likely destination, and Auburn's all in on the NIL as well. They desperately need a quarterback. I did just wake up. That's the benefits of owning your own company. I can wake up whenever I want here. But anything else here? I mean, this was meant to be a quick one. We got a full show coming out here with Cousin Shane reacting to the Bobby Petrino news, the SEC schedule that leaked, SEC championship preview. We got all that coming on the channel here in about an hour and a half. So be on the lookout for that. KJ to Vandy. They desperately need a quarterback. If Vanderbilt ever starts an NIL, they may be a serious player, but it ain't going to be anytime soon. If KJ enters the portal, what about Rogers to Arkansas? Will Rogers? Maybe. I mean, I think Will Rogers is going to Kentucky. That's what I think. I don't know that. I like Will Rogers. It's hard. It's weird to see these guys like KJ, a whole career at Arkansas, Will Rogers, whole career at Mississippi State, changing schools. I don't hold it against them, but to me, I'd like a guy to stay forever, be a legend, but it is what it is. But I would always lean towards a running quarterback. And Arkansas's got a couple on their roster. Not saying they're better than Will Rogers. My God, he's like second all time in passing yards in SEC history. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him, but I think I'd rather have the quarterbacks Arkansas's got right now in Singletary and Criswell, if that's what it comes down to. Now, they'll probably add via the portal, I would imagine. You almost have to. I don't think you go into the season with two largely unproven guys, but it'll be interesting. I think Will Rogers needs to be in a more air raid system type. So maybe Florida. I wouldn't go play for Billy Napier. I really wouldn't, but maybe we can't throw them out. KJ to Arkansas State. I don't think so. Drink recruited him. He's going to Mizzou. How about that? I mean, they got Brady Cook. Let Brady cook. He's back. I like KJ better than Brady, but that's a close call. That is a close call. All right, so I just want to react to that. Hopefully, well, unless you're a South Carolina, Auburn fan, Mississippi State, you hope KJ does enter the portal. I kind of hope he stays, but he did just post. I haven't made a decision yet, so I think you have to. It takes like 24 hours to get into the portal, so who knows here? Wait, we got a question real quick. What are your thoughts on my last? Oh man, I missed your last comment here. We got to roll up here. No. Mike, how about these schools for KJ? Michigan, Ohio State, A&M, Florida, Miami, or Florida. Oh man, come on! You're asking an SEC guy about these. I don't give a damn about any of these, but A&M and Florida. At A&M, again, we don't know their offensive system, so it's kind of I can't even get into that. Florida, again, no. I just said would not take him. I wouldn't go play for Billy Napier. I really wouldn't, because I think he may be on his last legs here. Yeah, right here, Taylor. This is a good point. He and Sam have a great relationship. Bobby's an offensive genius. He should stay. That would be my number one priority. If I'm Sam Pittman and Bobby Petrino right now, go to KJ, lay out a plan, offer him a ton of NIL, because that's the only hope you got. With Bobby Petrino and KJ, fix this offensive line, we could be cooking. Now, that's a lot of ifs, but it is what it is. KJ to Oklahoma. They got a quarterback, Jackson Arnold. That's a guy you're going to have to know in the SEC next season. Max Johnson, Arkansas. I think they're going to have to add a guy like that. They're going to need someone with experience. So, following Bobby. All right. Oh, Greg, $2. Appreciate you. Would Will Rogers or Max Johnson? Well, my dogs, they're fired up about KJ. Would Will Rogers or Max Johnson consider I certainly think Max Johnson would. We're familiar with the Bobby Petrino system, But again, I want a mobile quarterback. I really do. Just look at A&M at the end of the year with Jalen Henderson. I mean, the offense took it to another level with a mobile guy. So if I'm Arkansas, good quarterbacks, not talking bad about these guys, but we need a mobile guy. I really do think. I don't think, no offense to Bobby, I don't think players are following Bobby. I don't think he's that popular among players. I really don't. Based on everything I've ever heard, I hear the complete opposite, to be quite honest with you. Is Petrino to Arkansas a done deal, or is this some Stoops to A&M reporting? I don't know. I don't think it is a done deal, but he's tweeting the storm about it. I appreciate you, JD. I hope I'm saying that right. But all right, yeah, that was a quick one. Again, we got a full hour plus show coming up in about an hour on the channel, so stay tuned for that. This is just my favorite quarterback. Big news here in the SEC. Could alter the landscape of the SEC next season with KJ. We'll see where he lands up. I hope he stays in the SEC. Who knows? Who knows where he goes? Could be anywhere. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to this emergency podcast. Next time there's a big player to jump in the portal or something like that, we'll go live again. We're just going to keep doing this all off season long. So I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out. We'll catch you on the next emergency podcast.